Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager. It's the Pro Cyclist mode, and we're on to episode 38. We're here in season 4 of my rider's career, and it's stage 6 out of 8 here at the Österreich Rundfahrt, aka Tour of Austria. I am among the favorites today, which is a little bit surprising, but you can see that there's actually a good amount of climbing to do throughout the second half of this stage, and it looks to spread the field out. Now, for the first time ever in my career, I've got a massive lead in this race. We have had 2 pure climbing stages, and because it is July, and I opted not to go to the Tour de France this year. Because it's July, the best riders are there. And my closest competition is Ben O'Connor. And Ben O'Connor, which, let's see, Ben O'Connor right there, 5 minutes and 31 seconds down. So Ben O'Connor is well behind, and it's a considerable gap from him on back. So I have time to play with, and I'm thinking about doing some of that on this stage, depending on how things go. I might use my team up fairly early on and put some pressure on these early climbs to start splitting the field up in these steeper sections. So, look at that, Category 3. Look how steep that is. Oh my goodness, no wonder I'm a favorite to win the stage. Now, if I wait till the very end, it's hills. But look at these first 5 climbs, and I could be all alone by that point. I could be all alone. Maybe by the 3rd climb, and go to the end. And I'm interested in trying that out. It may not work out for me. They may catch back up to me. They may not. But I could have myself a pretty dang good lead and just see how it goes. And if they catch me and beat me, I've got 5.5 minutes. I've got some room to play with. And if it doesn't work out, well, it doesn't work out. But I'm interested in trying. So I've got 9 riders here in the break. They are 5 minutes ahead. Let's take a quick look at the names. Wilkinson, Belda, Dignan, Kramer, Oliveira, Camacho, Duche, and Cellier. Okay, so a number of those guys have been in every break, but not the bigger names, so I'm not too worried about that group as a threat, and we're already down to 3.5 minutes here as we approach the first climb. Now, McClay is getting used up here early on to do that chase, and I love that the AI has handled that for me as we already begin to approach that first climb. I'm going to begin to slow things down here. I will be moving on to my next guy for this climb, and I do not have control of everyone on this stage. Where's my mouse? There we go. That's worrying me a little bit. Philjoen, McClay, Harada. Where's that team control? Dory, let's pick it up. Not leaving too many guys behind yet, but the breakaway group lead is down to just 2 minutes.
The lead over the pack is dwindling. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
This kind of sucks that I don't have the full team control. I might not be able to carry out my plan here as I had hoped. I really think that's going to be the case. Because once I use up Latore, what do I have left? Just Denifil? Well, if I can... Lattori is still fine, so I can use Lattori on this climb. I can use Denifil on that climb, and then by that point, be just about on my own. So I suppose, for now, we'll stick to the plan. So those guys are being caught slowly. We'll go to a 77 for Lattori. Start climbing again here in a moment. Set myself to a 74. I've got Denifil keeping me shielded. Once we actually start climbing these, that lead's going to come down quick again. Ooh, nice BMC going to the front. That's good. So we're not the only ones now. Appreciate the help. Ooh, there they are. Just saw them. With a long ways to go, keep things on speed 2 for a while, but Lattori back out front, putting the work in. He's going at a 79. BMC putting in a little bit of work as well. Peloton is starting to shrink, 111. Make sure I don't have myself falling back too far here. Getting caught in the pack now. Riding comfortably, but I'm getting caught behind one guy after another. A little bit of open space here.
Another attack in the leading group. They're moving along at a fair lick. You've just got to hang on.
BMC actually pulling Lattori now. Oh, Lattori's he's got nothing left.
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are left in the wake.
So I would have support for this last climb, but right now all I've got left is Denifil. But the steepest climb is coming up, and this could really, these next 3 climbs could really split the group. Peloton's down to 62 riders. I was hoping to have it down a little bit smaller so far, but Tori has recovered a bit. Maybe I send him back on relay. And let's go like an 81. Denifil just about recovered, so I think I could up it here on this climb. First Lattori, given whatever he's got. Minute 52 to the breakaway group, so they've actually stretched their lead back out some after I gave Lattori a break.
There's more than a minute on the clock. The break seems to be working. The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the break.
Again, I was right at the front, and suddenly half the pack just pushed in front of me. $5K to the summit. Still a little ways from where we need to be, but Canty also working at the front now. There's the climb. Look how steep that is.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Alright, so I'm now just at an 81 here. 82. Pushing. Lattori almost done. Denifil still out in front though.
That's more than 2 minutes separating them. The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Okay, separations continue, but not to the scale I was hoping for. You guys are keeping up relatively well. Except for that, we just broke off the front, at least for now. So we do have a two-man group, and why don't I go into relay mode at an 86? Let's see what happens. Because we have this next climb coming up here in just a moment. If we can expand that gap. Nope, they just caught us. Okay, relax. Denafil. Protect. There's Harada. Now, see, dang it. I wish I had full team control. I had high hopes here. Peloton's down to 32 though. Make that 51. Keeps coming back together. And just without any true attack. Let's go 84. Let's see if Denafil can. There we go. It's just us again. Denafil.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Yeah, on my own at the moment. And not a huge lead, so I might kind of let up here. 20 riders giving chase. Yeah, just gonna go with maintain position. It's only 30 seconds. I'll have Denafil, Harada, and Viljoen in those 20 riders that are behind. This climb could, though, stretch it back out, but no. Denafil, go ahead and come back and protect again. And we're going to speed things up, as not much point going for it now. But let's see what happens here. Boy, this is such a slow pace. Come on. Let's go. Those guys are 2 minutes ahead, for one thing. I don't want them to just go off and win. So let's at least leave some riders behind, huh? 31. Speed things up.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
26. Now just 6 riders.
A team leader is falling behind.
And once we get over the top here, we just relax. Demarquis, Polanc, Valverde. 14 riders now. Harada in the group. 16 riders now. Denafil catches back up. Denafil, go ahead and resume the protection job. Just a minute to those final guys. And it's all coming back together again. 22 riders. The moment I let up, they let up. And the lead's back out to 2 minutes. 2.5. It's like no one else is willing to work. And if I had all 4 of these guys, we'd be crushing it right now. 3 minutes. They've gained 1.5 minutes on that downhill. Alright, as soon as we hit the climb, I'm going to go again because I'm sick of... It's 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's nothing, what we just did. Back down to 2.5. Back down to 2 riders. Back together for now. The leaders, though, down to 1.5 minutes. So Our pace is way too hot for them. Denifil's done. On my own here. Plenty of climbing left to do.
But it doesn't look too serious. Watch out, a team leader is
I don't
falling
want to go
behind.
too hard and do myself in, so we're going to go to an 82 here. 19 riders. Doing a lot of damage here in the group. Let's go 80. 12 riders. 8 riders. And let's relax. Recovery on. Okay. 4K. $3K, and it's all back together again. 24 riders. 2.4K. Trying to sprint. I'm not sprinting though. Belda. Wilkinson, they end up staying away even though I had them within a few seconds. But the moment I backed off, everybody else backed off. Nobody wanted to attack today. But the actual contenders coming together, third. I get 12th. If the team gave me full control, no contest, I would have won that stage easily. But they didn't. And that was disappointing because that stage could have been so much more. There was some excitement to it, but there could have been a lot more than there was. Let's go ahead and move on to the next stage.
That's a group nosedive, but as often happens, they're all getting back in the saddle.
Alright, so you might have caught just the end. There was a crash there that included some of the contenders for the race, and now all of a sudden there are just 16 riders left here. So I've got Viljo and Denifil with me, and our water guy twice. Canty was one of them. Lattori went to get water, and then timing ended up getting dropped. Canty went to get water, and they got caught up in the crash, and so water just kept not making it through the field here. But Viljo coming now. The race here is another one with some definite climbing to do, even though it's not a climber stage, and it does finish on the climb. So with just 15 riders left, I'm thinking of it's time to go here. So Denifil, you need to step this up, and Viljo, you go ahead and step it up as well, and then I think I'll be strong enough to go myself. How about we just go 77? Here. Actually, this will be the easier way to do this. 78 here with Denifil and Viljo, and taking turns. I don't want to lose these two guys yet, so I got to keep an eye on how much damage they're doing, give them breaks at times, but we'll see what we can do to continue to shrink the peloton down and keep it just this elite group.
Counter-attack by Betancourt.
We are 2 minutes down from the front, so I'm definitely going to need to keep an eye on that. They, of course, are challenging for the Mount Climbers jersey. Peloton shrinking further now, just 10 riders. And we're nearly to the top, so these guys will get a chance to rest once we get there. Now that huge group that we started with are kind of getting caught one by one by one. And Viljo, you're going to go ahead and rest for a while. No, not auto. Rest. There you go. And then we'll let Denifil rest here in a little bit. So I'm going to try to trade these guys off for a bit as I keep a group around me. breakaway completely split up, but the gap has opened right up. We are now seen as front. Join. No recovery yet. I just have to put him back on it, but slow it down a little bit. Problem with that is that lets the others maybe latch back on. This downhill will be a good chance for them to recover some, so we're going to see if they actually make it there, though.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell them both to relax, and I'm going to take the relay at the front this time.
You see
And
that?
let them
You can read the
relax.
pain on the faces at the back of the peloton. There's a growing number of riders left behind.
Let them recover. And then it's not a problem for me. Not a problem for me.
We've got just 1/3 of the race left to run. Now's
It's
not
called
the time to
working
get
for your
watching.
team. While you have a team that can work for you. I don't want to work at the base, but I'll get us down the hill while they can recover a bit. And then we'll trade back off. And we're coming up on the base now. Okay, there we go. Alright, so they got a bit of recovery in, which was good. We'll set everyone now. And we'll go 73, and then I will go back to just maintain position. So, hope you enjoyed your break, guys. Technically, I know you did. 42k to go. What I need now is one of you to go get water. And Denifil, you're off the back, so go ahead. Fetch some water real quick. There we go. That should get me to the end. That's 40k. Okay, bring it on
We've
up.
just learned of a
Bring
fall.
it on up.
Let's hope that all riders will get up quickly.
Ooh, 26 riders down, so group has actually caught up to
Who
us.
says that a rider is down?
Swan Craig Anderson. Wow, in the breakaway. Backart. These guys have been at the front most stages. Last one's kind of hanging on. Let's speed it back up here. 75. Good. Okay. Go get him.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Now the question is, well, 10% climb. I could probably go off and win the stage alone. This is the final climb right here. We're just not to the final time up it yet. But yes, I think I could break away on my own at 9%. Bill Jones not going to last much longer. Denifil's hanging on though. 3 riders left ahead. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. It's going to be difficult to catch. Peloton is shrinking, but Phil Jones is on the verge of getting dropped here. Points. I want the points. And watching the top 500 meters. 500 meters. There we go. Let's go for it. I want those points. Thank you. Okay, 50 points. 3rd place in that one. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get the points at the end. 14 riders left here in Peloton. Just the 3 riders left ahead. They've got a pretty good gap. It's going to be hard to catch those 3. They could win the stage. They could get all the points there. And what 3 guys is it? Solano, Belda, Vivani. Okay. Now, Denifil at a 75 is not going very fast, so let's see what can he do give it your all 99, just huff and puff and push. Yeah, we're catching the one rider.
It's in such
Gaps opening at the front.
can create some gaps.
Oh hey, this is a good time for me to accelerate, huh? NFL now left behind, that's okay. 13 riders now. Go ahead and sit up. We're not going to catch those guys. Yeah, gaps opening quick. Nobody is chasing them down. So, stage win not happening today, but it should be. Oh, Denifil's back on. So Denifil. Not 99. Not quite 99. Hold on. Let's go 83. Sure. Little climb here.
Only 5 kilometers left.
And we're just about there. That final climb, which I will definitely be going for. And let's go ahead and use the gel now. Coming up on it. Go 86, I think. It's pretty short. Here it is.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Right to the front. And then the gaps are starting to open. 7 riders. Sir Vogel hanging on. DeMarquis hanging on. 5 riders left. DeMarquis trying to attack. He just can't even get past me. 2K to go. 4 riders left. That 5. I say it looked like 5. 9, 800, 700. 2 riders were almost there. We are almost there. 500 meters. And there's just 2 of us left. Sprint 300 meters. I'm not going to catch those guys, but I should be in place for 3rd place.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all.
It's the 2nd line, not the 1st. Vivani over Belda, I get 2nd. O'Connor comes in just behind. He may or may not have the same time as me, but there is a gap after that. So again, job well done. Not a stage win, sadly, as the breakaway held on. We'll go ahead and jump ahead and check that screen. A little bit of a glitch there in the graphics, but Viljoen gets 16th, Denifil gets 21st, Lattori 40th, even though he was gone a long, long time ago. Harada gets 49th, Canty 57th, McClay still heading in. Good half an hour down. And here comes rain. Luckily, we were done. That certainly would have shaken things up a bit. Picked up some more points in the mountains and the points jersey competition. And further cemented my lead in the overall race with just a couple stages to go. And the last guy looks like he might have timed out. So just 18 seconds down. O'Connor gets the same time, even though there was a couple wheels between us. A couple bike lengths between us, really. DeMarquis, 44. So that opens up the lead a little bit more. 5:35 to O'Connor as I pick up 2 seconds, time bonus. The other guy is almost 10 minutes down now. Just 12 points behind O'Connor in sprint points. and 4 points behind Bonifond in the mountain climbers. Team's back down to third, though. And that's seen as poor. 2 riders of the breakaway group hang on to win. And I get a poor evaluation. Plus 12, though. We are getting closer. We're less than 200 away from our next level. And now that we've hit elite, that next level, I think we're going to start getting able to compete with the best. Oh, that was stage 7. Okay, so stage 8 here, and it's a sprint stage, so we're just going to jump right in and catch the end of this one. So I'll see you just before the end of the stage.
Given that the pack has increased its speed.
Alright, so the breakaway group was being reeled in, and suddenly the field realized that they are not going to catch them, and sat up. So the breakaway group of 4 riders, their time gap has improved by nearly 2 minutes in the last 4K. So we just took our foot off the gas, and that's going to be that. So the stage win is coming from the breakaway group today. And that should finalize things here in the final 13K. So we're going to go pretty quick towards the end on this one. Hrad is the only teammate I have right now, which is perfectly fine. Now 5 minutes on that lead.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
Now we begin to attack a little bit.
Now they're riding, and the gap is melting away.
Yeah, race win coming here in just a moment.
Acceleration by Rue.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Use my gel.
That's just fantastic. He really was the strongest
Backart,
leading group.
Kugard, Paulus, and Rue were the 4 men of the breakaway group. Still 3 minutes till we come in, and just over 1K. Here is our sprint going on, and I'll just join in right at the end. Nothing to compete for here, though. Dan McClay takes 8th for our team as one of the top sprinters. And I crossed the line in 27th.
Now for the best moments of the day.
Alright, well, quiet day, but we do get the overall race win, and comfortably at 5.5 minutes. Take 2nd in the sprint points, 3rd in the mountain climbers. Win the under 25s, and in the team, we drop back down to 3rd place. 54 points of progression, though, has us now within 128 of our next level. That's pretty nice. Let's take a look at the schedule. And that is the end of this period of time. Again, Tour de France started at the same time as we did, and it's still got a couple weeks to go. But we're going to look into the later part. So we have the Clásica Cyclist San Sebastian in Spain. And this one, well, no reason to do that one on camera, as definitely does not favor me. That's just getting a race in to have a day there in early August. This, however, the Vuelta a Burgos, not good with Spanish. That will be our next one on camera, and then that'll take one episode, and then we will be on to La Vuelta, the Vuelta España. So, the other Grand Tour. Looking forward to that one. And then, where I hope to be a contender for real. I got 4th in the Giro. And then after that, there's only a couple days of racing the whole rest of the season for us. So we are coming up towards the end. But of course, the Vuelta is probably going to be about 4 episodes or so. So we've got about maybe 6 episodes left on the air. And then, of course, there is the World Championships in there as well. So maybe 7. But the Vuelta is going to be the majority of those episodes on the remainder of the season. I should, as close as I am now, be able to level up well before the end of the season, probably early on in the Vuelta. But let's go ahead and check in on the standings as they are right now here in mid-July. I've got a 500-point lead over Kwiatkowski in the World Tour rankings. And in the Super Prestige, again, a comfortable lead over Gaviria, Sagan, and Kwiatkowski. Ben O'Connor there in 5th place, having himself a heck of a season as well. It's scary how much I'm able to do right now without even going to the Tour de France. But again, the Tour de France is going to come up with some pretty big points, so I will be falling back before that next race in August. I might still have the lead, but probably not. Depends on who ends up winning it. I mean, like, say, for instance, Chris Froome, he's only on 1,000 points. So it's going to take a pretty hefty load. And a quick glance at the rules. The scale, Tour de France, 1,000 World Tour points, 600 Super Prestige. So actually, should be in pretty good shape. Mountain standings, yeah, it's not a lot of points. Yellow jersey wear. Oh, but you get that like day in, day out, or is that at the end? I think that's day in, day out. So there are a lot of points available there. But again, Froome, if he wins, that's not going to be enough points. So I will retain that lead most likely. As a team, we are 5th place. That's actually slipping a spot. And again, probably expect a team or two to kind of slip past us by the end of the Tour de France. But I'm happy with where I'm at right now, that's for sure. Just hitting that elite status too. So really looking forward to what I can do next year. And I think at the rate I'm going right now, that next season, this might be the first game in the game of Decathlon where I can actually hit 1,000 points. And that's exciting. That is exciting. That's going to take a score of 5,000 here in the Super Prestige. I'm almost halfway there. And we're only a little over halfway through the season. But you just saw the calendar. The Vuelta is kind of the only big thing left. And if I pick up 500-600 points, well, I'm looking at 3,000. That's still a lot of points. That is a lot of points. But, and it might be enough to be top dog this year. But it's definitely not enough to considerably be mastering the game yet. I mean, I haven't won any Grand Tours at this point. I haven't even been on the podium yet. Remember, I got 4th. So, I'm happy. I am very happy with where we're at, especially leading Super Prestige. But next year, I'm targeting all 3 Grand Tours. But let's see if we can't get our first win this year. That'd be pretty nice, or at least get up onto that podium. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.